Alright guys, today we're going to be looking at the 3 delusions of purpose. You see, purpose becomes confusing and complex when we do not understand it the right way. The first delusion we're going to be looking at is that purpose is what you do. Purpose is not what you do. Purpose is why you do what to do. So purpose is not an activity. Purpose is not your career. It's not your job. It's not your course. It's not your title. It's not your role, right? Purpose is the intent, the drive, the motive behind whatever you do. So what does this really look like? Purpose is not, I want to build the best school in the world. Purpose is rather, I exist to transform and reform the education system and reform how people learn and how people grow, right? And so you notice that the latter gives room for diverse expressions and diverse activities that can flow from it. So with that in mind, you can be able to build the best school. You can also be able to train the best teachers, have the best students. You can also influence educational policies in your country and so much more, right? Having that foundational purpose compared to the former of just having to build a school. So it is that foundational purpose that drives every single thing you do, the decisions you make, and every activity that you engage in. And guess what? This purpose finds expression in different ways over time, right? For example, you may have the same purpose, but while you're in school, you may not be able to begin the building project of an academic institution, but you can have resources that you can learn how an academic institution operates. You gather resources, gather books, read about people who have attempted this before, read about places where this has been attempted before, read about their failures, right? That is what you can do at that point, and maybe talk about it a lot to some people. After school, you can now begin to have programs, begin to create awareness concerning it, and then before you get to the point where you are able to actually have resources to engage in projects like building schools, training people, and so on, right? So you see, it has different expressions over time, but still the same purpose. And that is why you cannot attribute purpose to a particular activity or attribute it to a particular thing you're doing, because it changes expressions over time. It evolves. The second delusion of purpose is that purpose must be big, loud, global, and world changing. We live in a generation where many people desire global visibility and greatness. People want to go viral. People want to be famous. People want to be rich. People want to fill stadiums and so on. And while these desires are not wrong, they become wrong when they become our measure of purpose or success, right? Purpose is not a scheme to get famous or to get rich. Purpose is about fulfillment and not just what you achieve. It therefore means that purpose cannot be big or small. Purpose can either be fulfilled or not fulfilled, regardless of what you have or what you do not have. You also need to understand that everyone's purpose carries a global implication. Your purpose carries a global implication. My purpose carries a global implication. This also means that every fulfilled purpose contributes to the larger transformation of humanity. This is why comparison is dangerous, because purpose is not measured by what you do or how much you achieve or how many people that know you, but purpose is measured to the extent to which you are deeply aligned and how fulfilled you become at the end of the day. So the third delusion of purpose is that purpose is the end goal. Purpose is not the end goal, right? Purpose is a journey. Purpose is not something you arrive at. Purpose is a means to an end, right? Purpose is that gives direction and focus to impact, clarity, fulfillment, and stability. This helps us to understand how we see purpose and how we judge purpose. All right, so we've said 3 things. The first one is that purpose is not what you do, it is why you do what you do. Secondly, purpose must not be big, global, loud, and world shaking, world changing. And then lastly, purpose isn't the goal. The goal is impact, the goal is fulfillment, the goal is clarity, the goal is stability. And so today's action step is that identify which of these delusions that you once believed or you're currently struggling with. Identify any of them, either of them, or if it's all of them, and then write down the new perspective you have concerning it. Write it down, let it be clear. All right, so in case you need a sample of how this should be done, it will be in our LinkedIn post or a substack post. So just go ahead right there and see how a sample of it looks like. And then once you're done, do not forget, come back to the video and comment done, ready for day 3. See you tomorrow.